Hello, everybody. It's the old bear from the old bear's den of Bigfoot. I'm back again. I still live. Coronavirus ain't got me. Wouldn't have got me anyway. According to the CDC, they got it all wrong. Anyway, I'm coming to you from Pennsylvania. But this story comes from a few states away, out of Maine. Now, what happened in this story was two hunters. It happened last winter, this past winter. And these two guys in Maine, they do hunting the old-fashioned way. They track down deer. They were on a track of a white-tailed buck that had a big track, so it's a heavy-bodied deer. And in Maine, big deer are what they go for. They don't go for the antler size so much. You know, big bucks usually have big antlers anyway. Anyway, guys and ladies, I'm sorry. What happened was they were on the track of this buck, followed it for a 3 miles, went up across a frozen marsh or slough, and went up a hill and went down the hill and went to go back through that slough to go up into a holler and cross the slough. Now, this is the tracks they were following. They were following those tracks. And what happened was the track stopped. There was a bunch of scuff marks on the ground, and they couldn't figure out where the tracks went. So they started doing a little bit of circles to find the tracks, or half circles to find the tracks. Because that's how you track deer. If you lose the track, you go in half circles and you find them. Now there was snow on, not a lot, but there was snow. So these were fairly fresh tracks. No more than 3 hours old. So evidently they got the deer up, and it went to go circle back around and go somewhere else where it thought it would be safe from the hunters. So evidently, and this is in the daylight, early morning, 7, they said they crossed that slough the second time about 8 o'clock in the morning. So this deer probably come through probably an hour before them or something of that nature, somewhere around that time. And then they found those where the scuff marks was at and didn't find no more deer tracks. So they start doing half circles trying to find the track again, and they find big human type foot tracks, barefoot tracks, Bigfoot tracks. So they were just huge feet, wide, 6, 7, 8 inches wide, 20, 22 inches long. They didn't measure them. They just try to guess by their size of their boot. One guy had pretty good sized feet. You know, he wore size 13, so they're 13 and a half inches long. And according to the two boot tracks, and no, they didn't take pictures of the tracks. And because they didn't think to take pictures of the tracks because they didn't have phones with them. They leave that stuff in the truck when they leave the truck, which is a smart thing to do when you're hunting. Anyway, they followed these tracks up into this holler and then up a hillside to this cave entrance. Sorry. Now they get up to this cave entrance and they see the deer laying there dead. Its head is turned around backwards. It had a decent sized rack on it, and they're talking, and all of a sudden they hear something growl, and they turn to face it and turn and look, and this thing is coming at them on all fours. It scared the daylights out of them. Now, this is up in northern Maine. And this thing's charging at them from the cave. They spin around, see it, and don't throw the guns to their shoulders. They just fired from their hip. Shot at it. They don't think they hit it. In fact, they're pretty sure that they didn't hit it. And there's a reason I'm telling you this. And when they shot a couple, each of them shot maybe once or maybe twice. One of them maybe shot twice, the other one shot once, whatever. They hear another growl and look. The one guy turns and looks over the hill and says, "Oh my God, there's another one." And it's charging up the hill too. Well, the one in the cave stopped. Well, the one coming up the hill ain't stopping. So they take off running. And evidently this Bigfoot didn't follow them at first. So what happened was they ran all the way back to their truck, which they wasn't but a mile and a half from their truck, and they stopped a couple of times to catch the wind, and they kept running. Every time they'd hear a limb break, they'd run. Or hear snow fall off a tree or whatever. They were thoroughly scared. So they ran back to their truck, got to their truck, hopped in their truck, threw their guns in, jumped in the truck with all their hunting stuff on, and started the truck up. And the one guy was sitting on the passenger side and said, "Hey, get us out of here. This thing's coming." Well, evidently the thing was walking up the road behind them. So they go home. Don't tell their wives about it. Don't tell them nothing. They're talking about it, for a couple of days between themselves. Finally, on day 2 or day 3, the wives say, "What is going on? You two come home early the other day. Y'all ain't been back out hunting. You've been off all week. What? Typical wives, you take off vacation to go hunting, and these guys ain't hunting." So they're kind of worried. Well, they explained to their wives what happened. Well, that very night, Sorry, I had to stop your time, guys. I needed a drink. Anyway, at that very night, they get one of the guys gets his house slapped. He calls his buddy. He has to go. When he calls his buddy jumps up out of bed, throws his clothes on real quick, runs up to his buddy's house, and carrying a gun. And they both go outside with guns, and they can't find anything. Don't find any tracks. Don't find nothing. The snow's done melted off. So the snow's melted off. Sorry guys for the extra noise. I'll shut it off. They go outside and they can't find any tracks, can't find any, don't find anything on the house. It's still dark. They took little lights with them. Weren't very bright. So they're still on vacation. Well, the next night, and they go back home and go back to bed, and the next night, it happens again to the other guy's house. Buddy comes over and look around. They found foot tracks this time. Didn't take pictures. And they did everything they could to they saw these foot tracks and they knew what it was. It was the big one. It had found their house. So slapping the house kind of goes on for a couple of weeks, couple 3 weeks, and just one slap, and they find foot tracks every time now. Then it keeps escalating. This thing starts tearing stuff up, knocking stuff over in their backyards, because their houses butt up to against a little bit of woods. You know, they're constantly getting woke up. They're constantly getting, their sleep's getting interrupted. The wives are getting scared. They both have kids. Their kids are scared. And all this stuff went on for probably 2 or 3 months. And I put this story up on Discord this past weekend for everybody that comes on Discord, and told everybody about it. And we're trying to figure out ways to get these people some relief from these Bigfoot. Well, I talked to these 2 gentlemen on Monday, called each of them at a separate time, and talked to them and told them, said, hey, what's going on? Well, I gave them some ideas on what to do. And they did it Monday night. They went out and told these Bigfoot that they were sorry. They didn't, the one charging at them out of the cave was scared them, and that's why they shot at it. They apologized. They also installed some lights. And Monday night, they found a tree structure set up at their backyard. Or not Monday night, but Tuesday morning. The one guy didn't have to work Tuesday, and the other guy did have to work. The one that works in a factory got the info, found it. He didn't have to go to work till later that evening. He was on evening shift. And they found this structure. And when they were in the little bit of woods behind their homes, they saw the 2 Bigfoot. And they're completely sure it's the 2 Bigfoot, that the one they shot at, and the big one that's been harassing them. And they just stuck their hands up and waved at them and said, we're sorry. We didn't, it scared us, and that's why we shot at you. We apologize. Well, it stopped. So Bigfoot understands English. And evidently they understand, that people make mistakes. So if you have a problem with this story, let me know. Send me an email. Tell me what the problem is with it. And we can go over it. Heck, I'll even send you my phone number. You can call me in person. All I ask is that you take it for what it is and form your own opinion. It's kind of a new thing to me, because most of the time when I heard of a Bigfoot, it's always been kind of aggressive. And I understand the Bigfoot, being upset because they shot at its mate or whatever. I don't know if it was a female or not. They didn't say. They just said they saw the 2 Bigfoot. It could have been a young male. Could have been, the child of the big one. Anyway, it doesn't make any difference. Tell me what you think, people. Let me know. And send me an email. If you got problems with it, send me an email. Tell me what it is. So, I hope you all like it. I hope you enjoy the story. It's kind of a semi-aggressive, good story. Turns out good. That's the best way. That's the way it should be. It should turn out good. So, I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you all are safe and everybody's well. Prayers will be out for everybody. Doesn't make any difference who you are, whether you believe in Christ or not. I'm still going to pray for you. We love y'all, and we thank you for the many views and the comments, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Bye-bye now.